Hey, what's up all? It's Matt with Sports Reports. Today we're going to talk about Carlos Hyde, another free agent that Seattle brought in just recently, how he's going to fit in Seattle's roster, what can we expect from him, and so on. So let's get started. So at the end of the final stretch of the 2019 season, Seattle lost all three of their starting running backs to serious injuries. They lost Chris Carson to a cracked hip, Rashad Penny toward his ACL, and was out for the season. Who knows when he'll be back? A lot of people think he won't even be back until like halfway through the regular season of 2020, and who knows how well he'll play. And then CJ Prosise, the fragile running back, broke his arm, filling in for Chris Carson when Chris Carson went out in the same game. And then that just left running backs Travis Homer, who was a decent running back, but he can't take a full workload. Seattle ended up drafting running back DJ Dallas in the NFL draft, but Seattle needed a veteran running back until for at least one more season to get Dallas used to the playbook, used to all that, because he's going to be missing a lot of camp time because of all the virus and all that. And then running back Rashad Penny, who knows how long it's going to take him to recover. So bringing in Carlos Hyde was a great move for Seattle. In a press conference, Carlos Hyde said in his talks with Pete Carroll that they've already said that he's pretty much accepted that he's going to be the number 2 back behind Chris Carson, and he will be, they're expecting a split time. If Carson goes down again, we can see him take on the load, so we won't have a big drop off again like we did last year, if that ever happens. So Carlos Hyde, decent running back, drafted by the Niners in 2014. He came in right at the era when the Niners were going down, where they weren't playing very well. The first couple seasons, he dealt with injuries on and off. Only tally up a couple hundred rushing yards per season. And then he had a couple breakout years in 16 and 17 where he had 900-ish rushing yards. And then it took all the way until last season for him, while playing with Houston, to rush for 1,000 rushing yards, his first time ever. Now, the nice thing about Carlos Hyde is he is a very big back like Chris Carson who can run between the tackles. He can also run outside. He has similar play style to Rashad Penny, where he can run outside the tackles. He's really quick at like if he sees something closing in, he could quickly reverse his direction and gain 10 yards. There was a lot of games that he did against Kansas City last year. He was really good at doing that. Another really nice thing for Carlos Hyde is he's a very good receiving running back. He's had a lot of receiving yards, receiving touchdowns as a receiving running back. Russell Wilson, we all know that Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll want a more passing offense in 2020. That's very evident in their their offensive line, who is oriented more for pass blocking than run blocking. They got pass blocking running backs in Travis Homer and DJ Dallas, and then adding in Carlos Hyde. So Seattle's trying to go to more of a pass-happy offense, but keeping in the running game in there still. So with Carlos Hyde, this is just a great acquisition for Seattle. If he stays healthy, I wouldn't doubt Seattle would get, if they can run the ball as well as they did last year, I wouldn't doubt to see both Carson and Carlos Hyde rush for 1,000 yards apiece, or a little bit less. So this is really exciting to see Seattle bring in Carlos Hyde. So a really great acquisition, and hopefully he can stay healthy along with Carson.